It's a beautiful day on the Amalfi Coast. You can see the ocean in the background. And I am lucky enough to be here in June and to do a little sketching video to share. Last night we went to dinner at a nearby town and I picked some lovely wildflowers. So I wanted to sketch them for you, my favorite ones, and my favorite ones are these yellow, I don't know what they're called, but I thought it might be fun to do a little video of them without previous drawing. So I'm using my travel palette here. I'm gonna moisten everything with a spray bottle. I have these adorable little plastic bottle for my water. And I'm gonna start with a nice cool yellow. What I'm using is by Turner's, and it's a transparent yellow. When I sat here a few minutes ago, it was in the shade, but the sun is moving rather quickly around the mountain. I'm in a balcony that's built on the side of the mountain, so we're getting to be in the light. But it's very beautiful. It's not very cold. Hot, which can be the case here. I'm working without my usual comforts, which include a thicker board. I forgot to pack some boards to paint on. But it's also fun to kind of wing it. I'm gonna mix a little sap green and raw sienna, but that was too much raw sienna and not enough sap green, so I added some. My hands shake a little bit, especially because I'm trying really hard not to shake them. So I apologize for that. But I just wanted to show you that it is possible to have fun painting, kind of without too much planning, just to enjoy the capture of a special moment. I'm gonna move to a smaller brush. I'm using my Escoda travel Versatil brushes. This is a number 4. I had a number 6 earlier. And I'm dipping in my Cobalt Violet by Winsor Newton, which makes a cobalt violet that I'm adding some here, even though it's not there in reality, because I like it. And because somewhere inside those tightly closed buds, there is a potential for that color, so I'm adding it. Now I really should wait for this to dry, so I'm gonna shut the camera for a minute and come back in just a few minutes. One last pass. I'm using my warm yellow, which is a Gamboge yellow, to give just a little bit of variety. And remember that watercolors dry lighter than when they go on. So even though now this looks orangey, it's not likely to look quite so intense after it dries. I don't know if I mentioned I'm painting on BFK Rives printmaking paper. I found it's the closest commercially available paper to Amalfi paper. I haven't gone to my shop yet, so I don't have Amalfi paper with me other than in a tiny sketchbook. I'm gonna go in with a little permanent rose to give some dimension to these things. And maybe a little orange for the tips of them. It would be a good idea to stop here. But instead, since I have this lovely hue called Shadow Violet, I'm going to put in a shadow. It's a very bright day, as you can tell. When I first came up here in the terrace, there was nothing like this sun, or I never would have come. So I'm glad I didn't know, because I'm enjoying this enormously. And I'm just putting the shadow where I see it, which is a little tricky because I'm kind of holding it randomly. This is a color made by Daniel Smith. In my making of handmade watercolors, I'd love to come up with a great shadow color. And there are some shadows within the flower. And I am going to stop here. I'm pretty happy with this memento of a lovely wildflower from the Amalfi Coast.